Hello, my name's Kim Fee and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator with the UK. Today I'd like to share with you a project that I made for Father's Day. I did make it with my dad in mind, but I also shared this project at our local on stage in November. In November. I was presenting this stamp set, the whole suite, the Geared Up Garage suite. And I took my inspiration from the pattern paper that we sold with it. So you get lots of different designs. You can see that I've cut loads up and I bought quite a bit of this paper because I quite liked it. So I've done quite a few cards, cutting out the cars and things like that. So let me show you a very simple card that we will be making. That don't take too long. I'll put that to one side, but I want to show you the petrol can. Having taken the inspiration from the designer series paper, and it's a matchbox, and you pull it up and there's lots of goodies inside. So I did originally have some chocolate tools that I got from Sainsbury's, our local supermarket. And I did buy some spares in my craft room and I just cannot find them, so I thought I'd just put these little bits in here. I'd put peppermints in there for my dad and he really loved it when I gave it to him yesterday. So shall we get started and making this? It's very, very simple. What you will want, if you can see at the top here, is some pin back from badges. So I have, my husband collects lots of tut, so I've pinched bits and pieces from his boxes that he has lying around. Sorry about the noise for that. But he just bought a load of old badges and I pinched the back of one because I thought, oh, that looks like the lid to the petrol can, so we'll be using that on top of our thing. Let's move that out of the way. Right. So first of all, for this project, just for the can, you will need a piece of, I've used black, and that measures 20 centimetres by 15 centimetres. And I scored on all the sides at 2 and at 4 centimetres. So let's just do that now. Bring in my cutter. So basically what I did here is I went to one side first and scored all my two centimetres. I'll try not to make the camera jolt. I'll try and do it gently for you. So there we go. Like that. So that's 2 centimetres all the way around, and now I'm going to do 4 centimetres all the way around. Oh, I knew I should have brought a drink with me, and I'm going to get croaky voice now. Let's have a look. That's full all the way around. And I'm just going to lightly fold all the creases, because now we're going to just trim some little bits off, some edges off. So I'm going to come from the bottom up to the second score line, from the bottom up to the second score line, and then I'm going to just chop that off. So that's one whole piece of there. I'm going to cut across there. So then we've got our tab, and then we've got this bit. I'm going to just snip a bit at an angle there so that it goes, when we glue it down, it will go in perfectly. And I'm going to sliver off two little angles there, and I'm going to just trim that bit off there because we don't really need that bit. And I've made a few of these now, so about 3, a few. One for the sample, one for my dad, and one for on stage, and one for this one. So I did notice when it's too high, it does stop it from folding properly. So we're going to want to do this on all 4 sides. So again, up to there, up to the second one, turn it around, trim that off, trim that to there, trim at an angle, angle, and the same again this side. So you have all 4 the same. Trim little bits off there. And there you go. So let's just get rid of all of that. So now you'll want to use your bone folder. Just sharpen your edges, because when you're gluing down, you're not fiddling about too much. So the basis of this box really is that it's a match box, it's a slider box. You can use this same construction making just a box that slides out as well. I think I will do that and make do another video on it with something else. It's the world's your oyster really. So we need those 2 tabs, and I'm just going to put a bit there and a bit there. You can use, if you like, tear and tape. I do use often the fast fuse. I really like. I got on well with the fast fuse, and I was a little bit choked when it went. But a lot of people couldn't get on with it, so it was something we couldn't carry no longer, because the majority of the people just couldn't really grasp how it worked really. A light touch is what you need for fast fuse. Otherwise it really didn't work properly. Oh, I miss it. So now we'll just pull those, tuck those in behind there, tuck that down. Just going to use my bone folder just to sharpen that in. Be sparing when you're using glue, because you don't want it to be squashing out the edges, look like that. And then glue inside there. And tuck that in. And tuck that in. And again, use your bone folder just to sharpen inside, and that'll stick. So that's the main basis of your box. Now we go on to the wrap, which is this piece here, and that I used real red, and I cut that piece 12 centimetres by 20.5 centimetres. And then I'm going to score, so I can give you the scorings before I start, but they will be on my blog. If you go over to www.simplyfairies at change my blog name, www.simplyfairies.co.uk, and we will be scoring this on the longest side at 6.2 centimetres, 8.2 centimetres, 15.4 centimetres and 17.5 centimetres. So I'm just going to do that now. So we go 6, 1, 2, and then over to 8, so 8 and 2 centimetres. Then we go 15.4. So we go over to the 15 and let's take this out. 15.4. So we go to 15.5 and come back 1. And then 17.5. So now we just fold. I don't want to fold too sharply at this point. Because I want the box to slide freely. My dad had a bit of a problem pulling it out. He pulled the handle off. He pulled the handle off where he yanked it out so much because it wouldn't come out, and I'd wrapped it too stiffly. So for here, what I just do is turn it upside down, the black box, and wrap it round gently, but don't hug it. Don't hug it because then it's going to be stiff getting in and out. So I just did that. Take some glue of your choice. That's all you need. You don't need lots. And I just gently wrapped it, let it fall, so it was loose, not too loose, because then you lose the shape, but not too tight, so that you can't get your slider box in and out. So let's just gently tease the slider box in and out, just to make sure. Fold flat. So let me know then that the glue's already done. There we go. So when I put the paper, the pattern paper on, I cut this. Let's have a look now, because this grid paper doesn't have, as pretty as it is, doesn't have numbers on it. So I cut the paper 11 centimetres, and then the whole of the width, which is, they come by 6 by 6. So I just did it 11 centimetres, and then I cut another little piece that was 7 centimetres wide, and just trim that down to 11 centimetres, because that will go on the back, because it's 6 by 6, it doesn't actually fit all the way round. So what I did, I just did a little bit of Tombow. So that's your back piece, so you want that lying flat onto the table, and then take your designer series paper or your pattern paper, whatever you use, just so that you've got a little border, top or bottom. And then I turned it over, and what I did was just took my bone folder along the edge. A bit of glue's come out there. Just along the edge, and scored it just gently, and that'll help it tease round a bit better. And then I just took some Tombow down either side. You just want it sort of in the middle-ish there, so that when you pull it round and you're going to score again, it doesn't actually come out. Just going to tease that round. And then I'm going to score again along the edge. For the purpose of this video, I am going to use the fast fuse because it's taking too long to grab. And this one just lays over the top there. And that goes there. I'm going to take that out and flatten that. There we go. And put that in there. So we're nearly done that. So now I'm going to take in, this is going to be my handle, and I'm just, with my finger and thumb, just going to bend it. So the heat between your finger and thumb, the friction will make it a bit more plausible. And then I'm just going to take it into my trimmer, and I'm just going to score 1 centimetre. And then score the other 1 centimetre. So I cut this piece 1 centimetre by 7.5. Depending on how big you want your handle, really, I suppose. I did try several ways. If I thought, oh, the handle is not too clever. Yeah, that'll do. And I just a bit of Tombow. Tap that on there. Ooh. Can you see? I'm just pulling it a little bit. That's why I like the Tombow when you're doing things like this, because then you've got a little bit of manoeuvrability. And how we're going to make a little spout for this to go on just there. So I trimmed a piece 1 centimetre wide. Let's have a look. I did it quite long, so it's about 15 centimetres wide, and I just, with my finger and thumb, and then just pulled it in so that I twisted it round and round and round and round like this. So what I'm going to do now is just unwind it and just put a little bit of glue there, so then it starts to stay where I want it to stay. A little bit of glue along there, and then just keep winding it round, being careful not to get too much glue on yourself. So just hold it and keep twisting it. It's a bit like a licorice piece of licorice going around. Very simple. Twisting, 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 and twisting. Just at this point, you might want to put a bit of tear and tape so that it stays in place. I'm just going to do a bit of fast fuse. There you go. You don't have to be too tight because you're not going to see it, because that is going to sit over the top of it. So now I'm just going to put a fair amount of adhesive on there. Plop it on there. That'll dry to clear, so I'm not too worried about that. So remember, when you're putting your spout and your handle on, that you actually have your box inside so that you can see the depth of it there. It's round the right way, because if you put your spout that way, it's a little bit more awkward. You want it all at the front, so you lay it up, lay it down, make sure that that's to the front, upwards, and you've got your spout in the right place. So to add our spout on, I'm just going to put this little pin badge thing there into, or onto I should say, a glue dot. There you go. And then add it to the top. Look at that. We're nearly done. How fab is that? Right, so now all I did was stamped my sentiment. Got all glue and ink all over my hands, sorry about that. So I'm just using Tuxedo Memento ink. We do have dies that match this to easy cut it out, but you know what, it's just as quick to hand cut it. Let's do two because we want one for the card as well. There we go. So we just take our scissors and fussy cut around. It don't take too long. As I say, if you just want the stamp set, then you know you can fussy cut. Although the dies are absolutely brilliant because they have gears on them that you can use, and I did a video on them again for the onstage presentation on how to make them look all rusty. So faux rusted gears. So if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I've not done very many, and once I looked, I thought, oh my goodness me, I seem to be just doing all men's cards. I don't know how that's happening, because I do make plenty of female and other occasions cards. Yeah, I just seem to have been making, you know, I've only done probably about 7 videos. I do aim to do more. It's just life gets in the way. My husband had a stroke back in 2002, so I am his full-time carer, and we have lots of appointments that we need to go to. So with all the best will in the world, I don't, when I make plans to do a video, something happens, and yeah. So, but I do appreciate you coming along and watching, and I hope hope you're enjoying what I'm making and what I'm showing, and I hope it inspires you to make your own. And I would love you to share what you have made with me. So let's just now, I've just put 2 lots. I've curled it with my hands. You can curl it with your bone folder and that. I've just put 2 lots of dimensionals on just to give it that little bit more pop. And there you go. There's some glue stuck there. There you go. I won't pull the lid, the handle up yet, just in case, but you get the gist of what it's like there. So now we're on to our card. So I cut a card blank from A4 and I took that to, oh, beg your pardon, drop that. I took that to 14.8 and trimmed it, and then took it to the horizontal and scored it at 10.5 centimetres. The red piece is, let's see where it's cut at 9 centimetres. Oh, sorry about that, the doorbell went and it was the UPS man with my order. Oh God. Right, so yes, the red bit was cut at 9 centimetres by 13 centimetres, and then the patterned paper was cut at 8.2 by 12.5. There you go. Let's do an insert as well. Let's do an insert. So I can some white paper, some white cardstock. I'm going to cut that because I'm going to cut it in for the inside. So it will be 14.1, 14.3. 14.3 by 10 centimetres. So just what I'm going to do is just take the oil can, I'm going to do some stamping off. So I'll just ink it up in the black memento. I'm going to stamp it off once and then stamp it on, so it's a lighter effect of the grey. So this is called second generation stamping. Oh, sorry about that. That was the UPS man again with my neighbour's parcels. Sorry about that. I knew I should have done this down the shed then. Right, so we've stamped that now. Let's put that to one side. And now we just got to put it together. So, let's have a look. I want to put a sentiment in there, I think. Oh, sorry about that. That's it. It's your day. That up well, and just put it's your day. See what I mean by life gets in the way, the doorbell goes. At least the video's done. So that's just your inside. Looks quite nice just like that, I think. Now, on the back, sharpen that. Going to do that. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on here. I know it will mean if you're sending it, it goes large letter, but you know, if it's for your dad or a special person, then you know you won't mind paying that extra postage cost. Can use all the edging of there. Waste not, want not. And then we just lay that on so that we've got equal borders all round. And then we take our Father's Day bit, we just curl that round a bit with our thumb. And again, one layer, and then a second layer. There we go. And that's it. That's all you need. So, you know, you could put happy birthday there. And a happy birthday. Somebody that likes to tinker about with cars or works in a garage, anything like that. And then fill with chocolates. Pull it up, pull it down, pull it up, pull it down. There you go. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's videos, interruptions included. And I hope you do pop back soon, because I will have some more videos for you sharing. Yeah, I think maybe I'll possibly do a video making this. It's quite pretty, isn't it? Let's have a look inside. Voila. Yeah, I think my next video should be making this, don't you? Let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye.